The Varieties of Religious Experience is a psychological study based on a series of lectures its author, William James, gave to an audience of scholars at Edinburgh University in 1901. It was published the following year. If the words psychological study and lectures make it sound dull, it isn't. James lets the various experiences talk for themselves, often at length, and the whole thing is fully intelligible to a non-specialist. Regardless of whether there's a God or not, religious experience is one of the most intense of all human occurrences, and the question of what it tells us about ourselves and about the universe interests most people. James thinks that one reason religious experiences occur is because the subconscious and the conscious mind get radically out of sync. When the tension becomes too great, the subconscious invades the conscious and reorders it in an effort to restore mutual harmony. The whole process is often accompanied by a euphoric sense of relief. James is agnostic about any involvement of supernatural beings. However, whether he can really believe in an unconscious mind anymore, now that we know all about neurons and brain function, is an open question. In any case, James is much more interesting when he considers two sorts of religion and religious personality, the once-born and the twice-born. Once-born religion is monistic. It believes we are already one with the divine. It sees the world as a single, undivided reality and evil as somehow unreal, the result of a mistaken understanding. God is not a strict judge, but a glorious and kindly ruler. The goal of life is reconciliation with the goodness of the universe and ultimately happiness. By contrast, twice-born religion is essentially pessimistic. It sees this world as a place of exile and even horror. Imagine, James says, a community of people living on a frozen lake, surrounded by cliffs over which there's no escape. Only you know that the ice is melting and that eventually everyone will be drowned. At present, the community is optimistic and happy. The greater its happiness, however, the more hideous the irony of its predicament, and the more your knowledge of the truth fills you with anguish. Eventually you wonder, perhaps there's somewhere better than here, another world. Welcome to twice-born religion. In fact, it might look as if of the two types of religion, the twice-born is the more deluded. James insists otherwise. Whether his arguments to that effect are convincing, or whether he simply would say that, are just two of the questions that make this book so interesting.